Hello everyone, welcome back, and today we're going to be doing a full face of previous holy grails that I've kind of forgotten about. There is so much new makeup that comes out constantly, and when I'm always trying to try the next thing, try the next new thing in the market, it is always so hard to go back to the favorites I love. So these are kind of all of the products that I know I was in love with, I would use every day, especially when I was first starting into makeup. I recently just got another one of this. This is the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. I loved how sticky it was. It held the makeup so nice. I still love their Jelly Pop one, but I remember the initial hype that was the original Power Grip, and I mean, it essentially created like, well, Milk created it, but then when e.l.f. duped it, it created like a whole popular new style. I still never forget like the first time I put it on and you could like feel it gripping on the skin and it gets sticky instantly, which is why like that trend became a thing. Granted, it's not for everyone. I know some people did not like the sticky era. I initially wasn't going to do color corrector, but then I found the NYX Pro Fix sticks, and this is in their like terracotta shade, and this is actually pretty recent. It just never really was able to keep the momentum. Like, it was popular when it came out, and then I feel like they just moved on, and it didn't get that much hype. This is my second one. I actually repurchased it because I used up the first one in my color correction, and I feel like that must mean I like it. Honestly, though, I'm not liking it right now. I feel like I've just grown out of this era of my makeup because now it's so dry and thick, and it's just, it doesn't feel like it's blending in as easily as some of my other color correctors. That might be like a holy grail that's better left dead, I think, for now. Now for foundation, this one was always a bit controversial. I loved this foundation. ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation. I remember loving this thing. I was obsessed with it. This is actually, I think it's probably almost out, but it's definitely expired. It was one of those products that would be my go-to, and then I just kind of stopped using it as other stuff came out. And it is a really, really amazing product. Like, I feel like for the drugstore and for the price you're paying, it feels very luxurious. Honestly, the shade match isn't bad. I thought it would be too dark, but if anything, this might be a little bit too light. It's kind of more on the like light to medium coverage, but I do think I put so much that it is turning into that medium. Maybe I could get it to full if I put a lot, but I do really like the finish. It is a very pretty, glowy, hydrating finish. Honestly, I don't know why I stopped using this. This might re-enter my rotation because it's looking really smooth, and it's reminding me a lot of the House Labs foundation, which is my #1 favorite. So that's actually very crazy comparison to make. I know this one for concealer is going to be quite unpopular because I don't even like this one that much. It is the Rem Beauty concealer. I think it's called the Sweetener concealer. I used to love it because of how full coverage it is. Like, I do think this might be the fullest coverage concealer I own, and it's because it's in a pot and it's a cream. So obviously it's gonna be extreme, but it's so thick, it creases so much. I put up with it because I loved the coverage of it, but now I'm like, I've discovered other strategies, other products. This is just not something I revisit. It's just too much. It's too full glam. It's like if I was to do drag, I could see it, but not for like an everyday glam. Also, it literally like destroys every single brush you use because it's like the pot like grips onto it, and less is so much more with it because it's crazy. In fairness, it gives a flawless under eye. Like, it does make your face look perfected because of that coverage. And it does look really nice. I just know it creases over time very, very significantly, and then it starts to look bad. And even with powder, because it's so dry, it just doesn't sit well with powder. I just really loved it because of how much coverage it gave. It made my face look like porcelain. Oh my god, but the under eyes just look too good. Like, it's annoying because they look so good right now. There isn't another concealer that has as much coverage, and this is why I'm like, I wish they made a liquid version of it and maintained that coverage because it is so good for the short time you have it on. Then for cream blush, I had a couple options. I went back and forth between a lot. My final two were Flower Beauty Liquid Blush, which I've gotten close to decluttering because it's almost out and I feel like I just don't use it, but I just like this formula so much that I don't want to get rid of it, and I was going to use it, but then I discovered the Made by Mitchell curve case. I feel like this was an era. It still is, but it definitely was a very big era. I would use nearly every shade in here, which I don't even know how because some of them are too deep, but I used nearly every cream in here. So I thought maybe I'd use this as a cream blush because, I don't know, it's very interesting. But I also did have a cream bronzer because I wanted to only use the curve case for that. For cream bronzer, I was thinking Milani Cheek Kiss, and it's in the shade Spilling Tea. I hit pan on this. It's almost out. And it only came out like last year, and I was using it so much, and then I just kind of stopped. And the fact that I hit pan on it shows how much I was using it. I think just because in the winter I stopped using bronzer, and that's what happened. And now that I am completely bronzed, I'm gonna go in with, I think this pink blush shade because I was always very impressed by how good it looked on my skin tone because it's so bright. It should be looking ashy. It should not work. And it always did. I feel like every single shade in here worked very, very well. It gives Barbie pink. Also, this formula, it just blends seamlessly. I feel like I need to start using this again. I'm getting added back into my drawer of stuff. I'm like, I'm gonna use this a lot now. This one's a little bit more of a niche product, but is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Translucent Powder. I think this is in the translucent one. This is so cheap. It has talc, and it is definitely quite interesting with ingredients. I think if you have sensitive skin, it might break you out, but it is so blurring and it's so good. And when I like didn't buy makeup that wasn't at the drugstore, because there was a time when I would only buy drugstore ones, Wet n Wild was like that's what I would go to, and this powder was it was a holy grail. I would use this like every day because it got the job done and it was so nice. Like I feel like it performs almost as well as like the Polite Society or even the Lunar Beauty one. That's my favorite. Like this is just as blurring, if not possibly more. It's just so bad for your skin. I know it's bad for your skin given how cheap it is and the ingredients in it, so that's why I don't use it as much now. But it was a holy grail, and it still is very nice. I was trying to think if there's another powder I'd recommend at the drugstore that's just as good. Honestly, I sadly don't think there's one at the drugstore that I can say is as blurring as this or as good as the other high-end ones, because this one has such a smoothing finish. I guess I would go with Maybelline. They're not cruelty-free, but that's probably the only one I can think that has this smoothing of a finish. But that one also is not too great for your skin. Like, it's another one where it's not clean. This one's at least cruelty-free, so there's give and take with each one. Shockingly enough, I never used powder bronzer. I never really felt the need to set it down. So most of the powder bronzers I own are quite new. Like the ones I use, like NYX Buttermelt, Charlotte Tilbury, e.l.f., like those are all pretty new products. So I don't want to say, because they were never holy grails, that's why I'm like, I don't want to put them in. But I do have a blush. This was probably like my second or third powder blush I ever got. It is the Kimchi Taylor blush. It's in the shade Cheeky, I think. And this is a duo shade, and look at that bright pink. This is crazy pigmented. I used this 3 years ago, I want to say every single day, and somehow I never hit pan. That's how much product was in. I would normally go in with this deeper shade, but I'm going to mix them today because I do think it's really pretty when you mix them. You just have to be very careful because it's pigmented. Besides the one size in Julia's Place, this is the most pigmented powder blush I own because Kimchi is a drag queen, so it does kind of make sense. But when I was doing my like full glam to class every day, because I would get up early and do the full glam to class instead of just more of a natural side, this was the blush I would go in with, and it always held up the other day. Amazing formula. Super, super expired. It's a miracle this still works. This is gonna sound crazy and no one is going to believe me, but I wasn't using highlighter that much. I wasn't a highlighter person. I was too scared of it because I didn't know how to use it. The only one I really think that I used every day was the Rare Beauty one when I first got it, so I'm gonna use that one. But like, I wouldn't say this was like an old holy grail. This is like still a holy grail. That's why I don't want to put it in the video, but I truly don't think I used highlighter, which is crazy because now I use highlighter nearly every time I do makeup. It was like this one and then the liquid luminizer. I had the Reflect, the bronzing shade. Those were my two that I would use. Oh my god, why is this like making me feel old now? It's making me feel really old going through all my makeup that I haven't used in a while. Because it looks so good, but it's reminding me of a very different era in my makeup style, I think. One Size Powder Foundation has always been a holy grail for me. Like, I've been using this since I first discovered One Size. So I can't think of a better pressed powder because really, I never actively went out of my way to buy pressed powders because I would always have this. And now I don't even buy that many. It's just like Charlotte Tilbury. Sometimes I'll buy in the Milani one and the e.l.f. But if there's a new pressed powder, it's very unlikely that I'll get it because I know this has like been my holy grail for so long. For setting spray, it is the NYX Marshmallow Setting Spray. This also came out last year, I think. It's a pretty recent one. Was a holy grail. Used it. It's literally up to here. And then I stopped using it because I got tired of the smell. That's it. I thought it smelled like marshmallows, and the more I used it, now I'm frustrated by it, so I'm kind of dreading putting this on. But I'll suffer through it for the video. I think it's running out now. It's not even that I don't like the product. I just really don't like the smell anymore, and I loved it at first. I don't know what happened. I think I just used it too much, and then I realized how artificially scented it was, and then it just started annoying me. I don't understand why that concealer isn't creasing. It's not creasing, and it's making me look like a liar with the Rem Beauty concealer. It creases. I'm telling you, it does not look good after a while. It should already be sinking in the lines. Maybe it's just the Wet n Wild powder being really that good that it's stopping it from creasing, but normally that would crease insanely right away, especially on the smile lines, which I'm not noticing. So it's making me feel a bit crazy. I feel like the makeup is like gaslighting. That said, for brows, it was really NYX brow gel. It's the drugstore. It was the cheapest thing. It held my brows the best, so it was never really a question. I wouldn't actually use brow pencils. I now kind of use the NYX brow pen, but that was not a holy grail. Like, it was literally just like a swipe of this, and I'd be done because my brows were already pretty thick, so I never felt I needed to do too much work with them. I did just do this eye look for a completely different video. If you want to watch it, you will have to find it. It will probably be uploaded very soon, but my underrated Holy Grail mascara is the Sephora Size Up Volumizing Mascara. This thing I used so much. The amount it separated your lashes and built up the intensity was crazy. The only reason really why I stopped using it was because I wasn't liking how it would transfer and mess up the eye look, which now that I'm thinking about it, doing it with two complex eye looks, not the best idea, but it's a really nice mascara. Like, it looks very stunning. Luckily, on this side that I'm doing, it's like black and white. So as long as I get it in the black side and avoid the white, this mascara will look so pretty. I don't actually have any eyeliner that I like had a Holy Grail. I don't like eyeliner. I really only started using it for like the waterline and just a tight line just to make sure the eyes are defined in an eye look, but I still don't like eyeliner. I very rarely use it. Ooh, okay, for lips, I had ideas. So this is the NYX Duck Plump Liner. This came out so recently. I made a video of it, and I used it for like 2 weeks straight, and I haven't used it since, and I don't know why, because I remember it had a plumping effect, and it wasn't that intense, but I also remember how much I loved this formula, and I don't know why it kind of just got out of my rotation. So there's like a little bit of breakage with my powder, because of my nose and allergies, it keeps breaking it apart. I don't know, allergies have been so bad recently. Like, most of the time, I cannot breathe through my nose at this point. And my eyes have been itching, so wearing contacts, not fun. Okay, I was kind of able to fix it. It's just a little bit. There's like a breakage and it's set down. And that's what happens with this powder. But it should, I think after a while, it should be fine. But this is the lip liner. It has a plumping feeling because it has that same ingredient that's in like their duck plump. I think it's a capsicum and it's very strong. It's like a chili pepper. So that is in there, but it's not. Honestly, it's a good lip liner. It just dries down very quickly, and I don't know why I stopped using it. Like, I should just keep it on top of my desk at this point. Then for lip gloss, I have the Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lip Plump. It's in the shimmer shade, which I loved how pretty the shade was. It's in, I want to say, berry shimmer glass, and it was so pretty. I'm a hater of this type of product because you can't put it back down. It's so annoying. I wish they just had a twist option. Like the Elf and Milani, they keep duping it, and I'm like, just have a way to put it down, because the stick idea is actually quite genius. What's not genius is how they managed to make it. And they kind of set a precedent, and it drives me crazy now. But this is so pretty. I remember I would use this so much. It's so pretty. It's just the reflect in it, and with this eye look I have right on, it's giving. And that's pretty much it for my full face of my Holy Grails I need to use more that kind of fell off the map. I think ignoring the eye look, because that's something else, the complexion is gorgeous. I wish I had a more intense bronzer and highlight. It really shows the difference in skill level I had when I was using those products, because there's no highlight. It looks very matte. I'm not a matte person. This is very unlike me, and I think it's also because the setting spray mattifies so intensely. Very different. But I do love these products. They always hold like a special place because I use them so much, and I think the look still turned out really flawless. It's really nice. It's just not what I would do now. But yeah, I'm happy with it. I think it turned out really nice. So let me know your thoughts below. Like and subscribe. And yeah, I will see y'all in the next video, which hopefully will be these very stunning eyes.